What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. As we continue to explore Colorado, we visit 2 more state parks and the #1 rated city park in the country. So stay tuned.
And our first stop was Lathrop State Park in Walsenburg, Colorado.
So talk about a beautiful campground. We stayed in Pinion Campground. There are 4 different loops. We were in site 72. Now this site was a big pull-through site, and what made this site a little bit unique was that there were some bushes kind of between the site and the road, and there were some bushes on the opposite side of the site, which really gave you a tremendous amount of privacy for a pull-through site. So our campsite was facing away from the road. We had the bushes that kind of surrounded it. Just a beautiful, beautiful site. And when we looked out our windows here, you have a beautiful view of the mountains in the distance. Almost every site will give you a view of the mountains at Lathrop because you're up so high. What a beautiful state park. The sites were electric only. So the only downside, again, one of the downsides to the Colorado State Parks is that if you don't have their pass, you get hit with an extra $9 per night fee on top of your camping fee. So it makes it a little expensive for an electric only site, but we have not been disappointed by any of the Colorado State Parks yet. They have all been absolutely beautiful, and Lathrop State Park was no exception.
Yeah, we didn't have as much time to explore as we would have liked. We were only there for 2 nights. And one of the days it was raining most of the day, but we did find a little bit of time to run down to the children's pond, the fishing pond that they have that's designated for children. But unfortunately, it was pretty dried up when we went down to check it out.
Yeah, water was extremely low, so we didn't spend a whole lot of time there. But you know, if we would have had some more time, they have a trail that goes around the lake. I mean, just again, just a beautiful state park and a beautiful part of Colorado. And we only had a couple days there, but we definitely enjoyed our time there for sure.
Yeah. Then it was off to Lake Pueblo State Park.
And this state park was absolutely massive. They have several different campgrounds in this state park, and they have over 400 campsites total at the state park. So the place is absolutely massive. We went in one entrance. There's a couple different entrances. We went on one side, and we drove and drove and drove to get all the way back to the campground that we were staying at, which was Prairie Ridge. So we stayed in the Prairie Ridge campground. We were in site 271, and again, the price was $35 a night, electric only, and it was a $10 a night fee, or $10 per day fee on top of that to stay in this state park. So, again, the pass that you can buy is $80 a year. So if you're planning on doing, if you're planning on staying really more than like 8 nights at a Colorado State Park, the pass would be a tremendous value. You pay your $80, and then you don't have to pay that per day fee at any of the campgrounds. We didn't have enough time left. If we would have known that pass was available way back when we stayed at James M. Robb State Park, we probably would have got one, because we would have more than made our money back on it by now. But at this point, we're about done with Colorado State Parks, so it wouldn't behoove us to buy that pass at this point.
Yeah, and a little tip for you about if you're looking for a last-minute reservation, this is probably one of your best bets to get into one of the Colorado State Parks, just because of the fact that they have so many campsites. And I think we booked it about 2 or 3 weeks, and they still had some availability at that time, even over the weekend.
Yeah, and I mean, this again, I can't even tell you how big this place is. It's just a massive place. There's a tremendous amount of places to fish. So from our campsite at campsite number 271, we could sit out. The actual campsite was kind of behind where our RV was parked, but it gave us a beautiful view. We could see the lake one direction, we could spin our chairs around, and we could look at the mountains in the other direction. So just a beautiful, beautiful campground. Did get a little windy up there. We had some storms that got kind of close to us, and being way up there, it got incredibly windy one night. But beyond that, just a beautiful state park. And we actually took advantage of being there and drove to Colorado Springs to visit Garden of the Gods.
So we had heard a lot about Garden of the Gods. We discovered it's actually a natural national landmark in Colorado Springs, and it sits at the foot of Pikes Peak.
So Garden of the Gods is known for these big, massive red rocks that just shoot straight up out of the ground. Really, in pictures, reminds us of something that you would see maybe in Utah or somewhere like that. That's really kind of what it reminded us of on the pictures that we saw. Garden of the Gods is rated the #1 city park in the country, and for a very, very good reason, because this place is absolutely beautiful. When we got there, we went to the Visitor and Nature Center, which was amazing. They have a phenomenal Visitor and Nature Center there with a gift shop inside, so we kind of toured through that. We came out of there, and then we made our way over to the hike that we wanted to do, which was the Siamese Twins Trail. So out here on the Siamese Twins Loop Trail, beautiful trail, Garden of the Gods. Where we're headed is, let's see, we're headed up there. So, not a super long trail. There's some elevation gain, but we're getting close. We're going to check out the view from the top. So the Siamese Twins Trail, or the Siamese Twins Loop Trail, is just over a half-mile long. It takes you up about 150 feet in elevation, and when you get to the top, there's an awesome rock formation up there, and you can actually see, look through the window, they call it, through the rocks, and you can see Pikes Peak in the background. So, all right, so we made it up here to the top. Awesome view. Pikes Peak there behind us. Awesome rock formations out here. Definitely an awesome hike, and would highly recommend this one for sure. Didn't take a long time to do, and it's a heck of a view from up here, that's for sure. So just some beautiful views from up there. The hike on the way up there was amazing. It's not super strenuous, so it's not hard to do. They have a lot of hikes at Garden of the Gods. They range anywhere from like a half mile up to like 2.5 miles. So, you know, it was a little bit of a drive for us to get there from Lake Pueblo State Park. So we didn't do a bunch of hiking over there. We just kind of went through the Visitor and Nature Center. I think had we known how awesome it was going to be, we may have allotted a little more time and maybe done another trail or two while we were there. But the place was absolutely jam-packed.
Yeah.
You know, we were there during the week, and it didn't matter. That place was packed. We got to the visitor center right shortly after they opened, and the parking lot was already almost full. So it's super popular, and for good reason, because it's just a phenomenal area over there.
Yeah, and it's pet friendly, and the best part is it's completely free.
And as we found out, it will always stay free, which is pretty cool. So in 1879, this property belonged to Charles Eliot Perkins, and he wanted the property to be open to the public for free. So after his death in 1907, a couple of years went by, and his family actually deeded the property to the city of Colorado Springs, with the caveat that the property must always remain free and open to the public.
How awesome is that?
Yeah, so I mean, you know, they can never charge anybody to go in there, which is pretty cool. So that being said, there's the Garden of the Gods Foundation. There are a lot of ways they raise money to keep this park open and keep it free. The gift shop inside being one as well. So, you know, anything, any money you spend there just kind of all goes to keeping the park open, keeping it available for everyone to use for free, which is amazing, because they could easily charge to come into this place, and you know, people would pay it. So, thanks to the family of Charles Elliott Perkins, that's never going to happen. So there's also about 100 bighorn sheep that live in the park. We didn't see any on our visit, but again, it was very, very, very busy. And we got there a little bit later in the morning, but supposedly there's 100 bighorn sheep that live there as well. We've seen pictures of them that people have taken, so they're around there somewhere. We have a couple more stops we're going to make as we work our way out of Colorado. Colorado has been awesome. Super glad that we decided to come up and kind of do some more exploring in Colorado. Definitely has not disappointed us at all. So we look forward to bringing you guys those videos coming up. We appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you guys down the road.